Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone, who I learned the truth from and who rule well. Peace and salutations to the 144,000 and the 1/3, the large multitude, until you all say shalom. So today's lesson that I want to go into is about how, our weapons of our warfare, they're not carnal. We're fighting a spiritual war. So in these times, it's important to remain spiritual, when dealing with these people, not taking judgment into your own hands, but, letting the Lord handle it, because ultimately we're under captivity, so we got to wait on the Lord, because we're fighting a spiritual war. We're not fighting a carnal one. So first scripture I want to get is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4, and it reads, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." So that's right. Our weapons of our warfare are not carnal. They're spiritual. These scriptures, that's our spiritual sword. Esau's sword is carnal. He was blessed with the sword, but we were blessed with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, this wisdom, the fear of the Lord. So we can move wisely in these times and, not get carnal and try to take judgment into our own hands, like the Black Panthers, try to form a militia and try to take Esau down carnally, because ultimately that's impossible. The nation of Israel don't have an army. Esau has all these missiles, these helicopters, these space stations that could, shoot lasers from the sky, and drones. We don't stand a chance against Esau carnally, but spiritually, that's where, our power comes from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So next scripture I want to get is Ephesians chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 11, and it reads, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Verse 13, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand." So yeah, that's right. We're not fighting a carnal war. We're fighting a spiritual war. We fight against these demons, against these enchantments that the wicked elite, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, that, they put enchantments against, the nation of Israel, but ultimately, there's no enchantment against Jacob. So that's why we have to put on this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, that fear of the Lord, so we can withstand against the devil. That devil is going to the adversary, which is Esau, Edom. So next scripture I want to get is Psalms chapter 44 and verse 6, and it reads, "For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me." So, that's going into David, during his time in the wilderness. He wasn't trusting in his sword, and he was a mighty man. He had spiritual power, but ultimately he trusted in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to deliver him, because he knew that it was Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai that he got his power from, So we got to trust in the Lord. We can't trust in our, modern day bow and sword, our firearms, our AK-47s, So next scripture I want to get is Matthew chapter 26 and Verse 51, and it reads, and behold, one of them which were with Yahweh Shai stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. Verse 52, then said Yahweh Shai unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all that they take the sword shall perish with the sword. Verse 53, thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? Verse 54, but how then shall the scriptures be fulfilled, that thus it must be? So yeah, that's right. That's when, they picked up Yahweh Shai, when they turned him into the Roman authorities. One of Yahweh Shai's disciples, struck one of the high priest's ear. But, Yahweh Shai told him to put up the sword, because he who lives by the sword must die by the sword. How you see Jake nowadays, killing each other, doing drive-bys, deleting each other. And ultimately, they end up dying the same way. They die by the sword, the modern day sword, the gun. So, we must not get carnal, with these people, and remain spiritual, because Yahweh Shai had the power to summon, a legion of angels to just destroy the whole earth, but he didn't do that. He had to let the prophecies be fulfilled. So next scripture I want to get is the book of St. John, chapter 18 and verse 36, and it reads, Yahweh Shai answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. So yeah, that was going to, during Yahweh Shai's time when he was, teaching the disciples, during his 3-year ministry, and he told them, right now is not time to rise up. You still have to wait on prophecy to be fulfilled. So the last scripture I want to get is the book of Exodus, chapter 14 and verse 14, and it reads, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. So yeah, we got to wait on Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, to rise up to the prey. And that's part of the suffering, we have to endure, till Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, lifts up a standard whenever Edom comes down with great wrath, when he comes down with the sword, when he has no other option. So, we must remain spiritual. We're fighting a spiritual war. We're not fighting a carnal war. Ultimately we are fighting the flesh, but it all boils down to the spirit. But that's pretty much for this lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and we were well.